we've talked about it some. Oh, with a game.
Now, Umbrella Hat has arrived. Hello, Umbrella Hat.
Oh,
How
good morning.
are you doing, mate? And can I point out, have you seen the little bronze badge and the number 3 next to your name? So, Umbrella Hat, you are 3rd in the chart of all-time cheerers ever. So thank you very much indeed for that. And that is now reflected with this magnificent number 3 badge. I was having a look at the chart earlier to see if we do a chart rundown, but it hasn't changed since the last 2 times that we've done it. So we'll leave that until it changes. But yes, isn't that spanky Umbrella Hat's badge? Of course, it's rather humbled by the fact that Aratark's got the number 2 silver badge, and any moment now, when he stopped enjoying that picture of a 12-year-old Korean girl he's just posted, Killjoy's bound to say something, who's got the massive gold number 1 badge. Lecthenian recommends, why don't you get a stream shed like Sage? Think of the cost, though, Lecthenian.
Well, it's about €500, I think.
I don't think we'd ever get that much, would we?
Yeah, probably not.
You'd have to play Skaven between now and Christmas to raise that kind of bucks.
Yeah. I've learned my lesson. I've done 2 stretch goals. 1 didn't go too badly. 1 was terrible. So we're not doing that again. Bushranger says we're looking for a streaming studio with a green screen. Is that just so you stick the screen in front of me, Bushranger? Is that what you're referring to? Not sure about that.
It's very easy, Andy. It's just whenever you actually move to streaming from not a room that's jam-packed with other activities, you simply put a... I mean, it can even be a green-painted wall. It doesn't need to be a screen. Anything that's green or blue, and you can then do the, a la Nurgis, of you just appear ghost-like, and you don't have a square box. You've just got a cutout of you. Even Jimmy's got one. Morning, geeks. How you doing? Killjoy's recommending alternative products. They're reasonable. Yeah, fine. I went with the obvious choices. Killjoy is to not overcomplicate it, and the Kev headphones very confident with, because I've owned a pair, so that I know that they are robust, comfortable, and good audio quality. And they were $250. They're now commonly available for $180. So a bit of a bargain. I suppose we better fire up Blood Bowl, hadn't it, and see what that's all about.
Yeah. This team really needs more players. That's what this team needs. Right. Things to notice on the team, ladies and gents. First of all, he's only got 11 players. He's also got a niggle on the Minotaur, so he's got big strength. He's got lots of stat increases. So it's 11 versus 11. No fame, of course. But if he smashes around a bit, this will be quite hard. If we avoid getting killed in the initial line of scrimmage blocks, then maybe we'll do something.
Braumeister, guten Morgen, wie geht's? McNaughton says, oh no, that's controversial, McNaughton. That's a bad idea. I mean, for God's sake, she's with child, man. You can't just bin them off because they're inconvenient. Well.
Can you? No.
This is not for the show, Andy. We've talked about this. Pedro Jack says Jimmy's green screen is 8 foot by 4 foot. Why so big? Oh, Pedro, that's very unkind. Jimmy was born how Jimmy was born, and he's a very handsome man. He's rugged and urban.
Urban? Is that? Can you be urban?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
You'd be urbane as well, but that's different. Lecthenian says Jimmy wasn't born, he was spawned. Begotten, not created. Let's go with that. He's the Messiah.
Sometimes he's a very naughty boy.
I don't know. I haven't seen much of Jimmy since I've been doing the other thing during the day. What's that going to work? So I don't know. I assume he's in rude health.
Yeah, you'd hope so. Right. Okay. So can we? Shall we? Should we?
Everybody's been very unkind about Jimmy. That's very harsh. I know you all secretly love him. It's adorable. So let's stop being unkind about Jimmy. He's yes, he's a very kind and sensitive man. Very, very sweet to small animals as well. Yeah, that's a good question. Pedro asked, what happened to your rubber hat? You know, when you had that milk tray gig where you were distributing chocolates. What happened to your hat? Where'd that go?
Hang on a second.
Oh, Aratark. Oh, careful, mate. Not post-Utri. That would have been great 10 years ago. Now then, have you ever been in a Rolls Royce?
I think I've got a sneeze.
Oh, you've got it. It wasn't a negative comment about your streaming habit, Killjoy. I just said you were enjoying watching a 12-year-old Korean girl. Am I incorrect? I know you'll say she's 24, but the bloody look 12. It's not right, Killjoy, grown man like you. You're all being very unkind. What's wrong with letting Jimmy look after your kids? I mean, I don't like kids, so, you know, I'd say let them take the chances. And for umbrella hat, for all you know, Jimmy might be fantastic with young people. I mean, fantastic, not Savile, obviously. Fellaini, good morning. How you doing? Pedro Jack, I know people are sort of checking that the doors are locked around. One puts his hat on like that.
I look very young. Well, thanks very much.
You look quite small as well. Can you zoom in a bit?
I could look larger if people require me to look larger.
Ah, Pedro Jack. Pedro Jack says, call Boyzone, they've lost a member. Louis Walsh was round early looking for you, Andy. Right, so what we're playing? So we're playing against Arune and Chaos again. Okay. Well, that's a nasty Chaos warrior. You don't want to get involved with that. See the one in dead centre there? It's just moved.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, and a plus movement Minotaur with an eagle.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Oh, I tell you what, these are dangerous. There's two of them that are tackle claw mighty blow.
Mm-hmm.
Thankfully, now they've got piling on, but they both have strength. Jesus, what a team! Well, where's Dirty Elf? We've got a Dirty Elf, haven't we?
We do, yes. But we do only have 11 of them.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Hawker's hosting us. Hawker, thank you very much indeed.
Thank you kindly.
Frank Fox says apple flap. Oh, that sounds quite rude.
I'm not sure I'm ready for apple flap.
I think it's a sweet Dutch pastry with apples in it, probably. A little like apple gebak. McNaughton is predicting. Mystic McNaughton says Tackle Beast is about to get surfed. Could be, couldn't he? It's possible. It's possible. I just fear that we might have much wailing and gnashing of teeth as the elves begin to fall. That with this amount of killie skills in front of us, that could happen. Thank you. Oh, Fellaini, thank you, Val. It says beer flaps are different. Swedish Salt doesn't like the elves and wants them all to die. Oh, no, don't, because we've got another 2 weeks of this Swedish, and if it all goes tits up, it'll be misery and despair, and it's no fun when it's all gloomy, is it? If you've got the Euros, Didier Drogba, anything can be arranged. Very open-minded people, the Dutch. McNaughton speculating, are you chumping out through a lot of fishermen's friends? Well, I tell you what, pop on, one of those big, thick, woolly sweaters. What do you call them? Arune jumpers, one of them? Some oilskins? Yeah. You do have quite a fisherman vibe going on there. Mind you, the headphones are a bit of a giveaway. Well, did you know that's one of the things we get back in Brexit? That we get loads of water around the coastline that currently belongs fishing rights is we give away to Europe. We'll get all that back. So one upside of Brexit, and there probably are a couple, is that fish and chips probably get cheaper, or in your case, fish fingers.
Why fish fingers?
Well, because you've got the dietary habits of a 12-year-old. Potato waffles, fish fingers, spaghetti hoops, that kind of thing.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Norton says, stop dancing around and pretending you aren't going to surf that beast and just do it.
I'm actually not going to try and surf it.
What?
Yeah, I know. I was pondering, because it's too hard. It's strength 4. If it's strength 3, it'd be doable. I was pondering how much I wanted to try and whack the Minotaur and have to dodge away from tackle.
Well, given that that goat's on the floor now, I'm guessing you are going to foul it now.
No.
Didier says, do Greg's do apple flaps? They'd probably do something similar. Yes, you're not very beardy today. What happened to the beardiness? Have you had an interview or something?
No, just every so often I actually have a shave.
Oh, nice.
No, it's just why not, really. Sort of probably a good idea. So I do.
Killjoy wants to recommend we try an eating broadcast, but given how long you take to get through a meal, it wouldn't last very long, would it? You need 10 minutes for a YouTube video to count, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe if we strung together 4 meals, that would do it, would it? Bushranger says, do Greg's do chicken and tuna bakes? No, they want to stay in business, Bushranger. So they do actual food, like, beef and onion or cheese and onion and stuff. What are you going to do if Baby Davo doesn't like Blood Bowl?
Heretic.
Orphanage?
Will. Amazing luck. What? What was amazingly lucky about that? I made a 3+, I made a dodge, and I rolled away from tentacles. Okay.
Is Arune getting a bit vexed? You haven't done anything outrageous yet, particularly, have you?
Nope.
Oh, he's going for Faker. Faker, brace yourself, son. Or is he?
I think he's just marking Faker up.
2, 3, 4. He's going to hit him with Pognegras Tire Mort.
He's got
the
no...
snappily named Strength Warrior.
I suppose he could, didn't he?
Killjoy, good luck. Have a nice adventure. See you in a bit later on. We will try and make sure Andy stays relatively pH balanced. Wolfpark says Arune is pretty terrible. I don't think we've played him before, but let's see how it goes. Oh, no bueno. Faker goes, no. Oh, he really doesn't like Faker. Wow. It's not very nice, is it?
Nope.
Oh, and Watrix has just subbed for 8 months in a row, and as says I had to go in and sub again for some reason as it had just stopped. Oh, Watrix, thank you very much indeed. Oh, Neighbour declares let there be light.
This guy's record is about 50%. For someone who just asked.
Never mind that. Everybody's trying to check out is Ava looking relatively smiley or a bit vexed still. Is she talking to you yet?
Hello. You okay?
Yeah.
And Hellboy's just resubbed 7 months in a row and says, dumb skills, I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. I did what I had to do and re-rolled without exemption. I planned each charted surf, each careful sidestep along the sideline, and more, much more than this, I played like Andy. Hellboy, that was fantastic. Thank you, mate. Wolfbark, I'm quite with you on that one. It gives me a fighting chance that I might not lose. Absolutely. Hellboy, that really was a beautiful tune, man. It was a beautiful tune. Watrix, yeah, I think so. I think I'm going along to the Friday night curry sort of thing. I won't be there the whole weekend because I don't work Sundays, and I won't compete. But I will be swinging by to sort of meet folks, I think. What, Bays? What time did we start? Well, we tried to start around 10 o'clock. We actually started at about 25 past because of technical issues. But we've overcome those. And this is game number 1. Too early to tell so far. Nothing major's happened. Samuel Davis, good morning. How you doing? Lionel Sean's in total agreement with Wolfbark. All power to opponents who aren't very good. That'd be nice, wouldn't it? Oh, have you clocked my my first game in a while is on Tuesday?
Was it? No.
It's in the diary.
Oh, good.
I look. Lol Hustler, good morning. How you doing? So, are you going to order a mic and some headphones? Are you doing that, or is that just you're going to forget about it now until these ones break again? What do you think?
Probably will.
You've actually seen those Kef ones I recommended. Do you remember before I got the Odyssey really big ones, the ones I had before that? Those. You're not really listening, are you? I'll talk to the audience. It's all right. I know you're concentrating. It's like when you've overdone the ketamine, isn't it? On a hot date. Just, I've done it too much again. I'm getting nothing out of it. It's unresponsive. Sam says, what were the technical issues? Not entirely sure, Sam. It was based around Andy's headphones had unpaired themselves, and so that really. Hence, we were talking about are you going to buy some proper headphones and a mic stand instead of this PC gaming rubbish? Aratark cheers 100 and says, indeed. Indeed, Aratark, indeed. Have you started using that at work yet? Because by gum, it's handy.
No, not yet.
No, I was asking Aratak. I'm not talking to you. You're concentrating.
It's a good idea, that.
What, concentrating and not talking to you?
Both? Either?
Heard it here first.
I don't know.
Cat's being very attentive. What do you want? Baz likes how it takes a warrior and two mates to throw a block against Faker the freak elf. Well, Faker should go over the Minotaur and start pushing him around, have his milk money off him. Umbrella Hat has just subbed for 7 months on the spin of hearing Zug talking to a wall whilst we watch a cat burglar sit in a chair. Nothing but solid gold. Thank you, Umbrella Hat. Very much appreciated, old boy. I tell you what, it's not a million miles off. In the summer, we're going to get the next tier of icons kick in.
Woohoo!
The 12-monthers. What could it possibly be? So another cracking week for Manchester United then, Andy.
Yeah. I don't know if we can have a serious conversation about it, but
well, we can try. See how it goes, can't we?
Right. First of all, you have to contextualise that Man City have been incredible this season, so it's not surprising that Man City's have run away with the league. And in most other seasons, where the rest of the pack are is sort of normal. They're about in the right normal place. So to say that we haven't won the league, well, no one was going to win the league this season. However, have the performances been good enough? I don't know. What do people think?
Getting dumped out of the Champions League by Sevilla. That's the low point. That's the hump. That was why he had the 12-minute defence of his record yesterday. That was why. Hawkeye, good morning. Hawkeye says, can you move the camera down a bit? Well, he means the video box in the bottom left corner. Our Tuck says, Jose is both a cockwomble and a twat waffle.
Your wish. Sorted.
It's very good. You've got a lot of room above your head in the picture. It makes you look like you're really tiny. Really tiny little Andy in the corner.
Oh, okay. Hang on
if you had free reign, mount the camera lower so it's looking up at you, which is what most people's normal perspective on looking at you is. You know, the sort of upward tilt.
Oh dear. I wonder if we're going to see a concede, because this guy's he's not playing overly spectacularly, and his dice aren't great. How many can we surf this turn?
It's difficult for the neutral to feel massive amount of sympathy whenever everything doesn't go just smashing for Manchester United, to be fair. Oh, Death Barrel, that's no disrespect to Sevilla, but in terms of resources, Manchester United should be beating Sevilla. They just should. In the same way that Barcelona should be beating Newcastle United. They just should. So it was a disappointing result, whatever way you cut it, for Jose and the boys. And it wasn't really even as if it was close. It was actually, in the first half particularly, it wasn't that Sevilla scored and then shut up shop. They were actually kicking them off the park. Playing them off the park, I should say. That means a different thing, doesn't it? Oh, Ceramol supports Spurs. Ceramol, have you met Lil Baz? You can go for some cockles and eels and winkles and other disgusting things later, perhaps. So Manchester United should sign Tino. What, a Spreer? He's like 43, isn't he? Bit old. Might be older than that, actually. Might be mid-40s Tino is Spreer, surely. Anyway. Oh, yeah, Robbo likes Spurs, isn't he? Juanchi, guten Morgen, wie geht's? Sarasium says, Serious Sam says, doesn't see many people using Minotaurs on Chaos teams because they're not that great, Sam. Again, when you first start off with a Chaos team, a Minotaur can do a roll. He's instantly got a bit of danger about him with big strength and mighty blow, frenzy, etc. Very quickly, you lose interest in blitzing with a Minotaur and would rather do it with the first beastman that you get with mighty blow and then soon after claw and block and piling on and blah 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 blah. So you either usually see Chaos teams don't bother with a Minotaur at all, or initially hire one and then bin him off when you get a couple of goats doing the killy stuff, or on rare occasions people keep them. And Andy Deja Mu is really messing up this theory because you've still got one on your UK BBL team, but you shouldn't. So there you go. They are quite fun though, Minotaurs. They are quite amusing. Sam Davis just says Arsenal. I can't hear that without thinking about Derek and Clive. I went down the Arsenal the other day. This bloke comes up to me and he says, hello. I'll leave you to Google the rest. Derek and Clive down the Arsenal. Family show. Leighton's almost in Essex, isn't it? Almost. Or is it? I don't know. It's all London. You're being ever so quiet. Are you really concentrating or are you just tired?
We just missed an opportunity to get rid of the ball carrier, which is annoying.
Johannian says, what's the grab blitzer for? Surfing, really. And we had, when he leveled up Johannian, a few folks suggested grab, and hey, it's something different, right? Uh-oh. Space Cadet will be fine. Tozier says, how does grab work? You use it when you throw a block, and then if you knock the player over, rather than being able to push him in one of three squares, you know, in traditional sense, you get more squares you can blob him into. Actually, that's not. You don't have to knock him over even when you push a player through either a knockdown or a push. But the big two things you can use it for is, one, it cancels out sidestep. So if you want to surf a sidestepper, you can. And secondly, you can grab a player from a couple of squares away from the sideline and then plonk him right next to the sideline and then surf him. So, two key features of grab. A lot of talk about London geography. I'm just letting you get on with it, folks. You seem to be enjoying that. One turning, says Johannian. It doesn't hurt. Yes, doesn't hurt. It's one of those very. He's fine. It's one of those very good but rarely picked skills. I'd consider taking grab over stand firm on a Curse Warrior when he gets 76 points. I've done that before and always liked it. This is proving quite a punishing turn. The Chaos Lads really got the bit between the teeth here. I'm guessing we've heard the last from Andy for a while. We'll be very quiet for a bit. Really do with a co-host at the minute, as soon as you've had your lips shut.
I'm annoyed because he's playing really badly, crying about how unlucky he is, and then he's just removed 2 players. It's just like, oh, shut up.
Well,
shut up.
He's not mentioned being unlucky recently, has he? This has now convinced him that he's no longer being unlucky. So, you know. But don't grow vexed. Remain calm. Wolfbark has spotted the quarterback goat with agility 5 and strong arm. He hasn't got a strong arm, Wolfbark. Am I looking at a different goat? Hang on, let me have a look around. Oh, that one. Right, sorry, I was looking at the agility 4 goat. Yep, agility 5 strong arm. Crazy Lisk has just subbed for 3 months in a row. Surf everyone. That would be really nice, wouldn't it? I think that's probably high on Andy's list of stuff to do. Problem is, since we've lost a couple of elves to casualty, it gets a little bit trickier. But let's see what he turns up.
I'm going to lose another elf because I can't get away from that fucking Minotaur.
Yeah. I mean, if nothing else, Pedder's keeping the Minotaur out of doing anything else. You know, he's just tying up the whole 800 pounds of hamburger, isn't he? Very light on guards, your opponent. I see, what, 1?
Yeah. It's built wrong, that's why.
Don't be vexed. Come on. Big smiley lovely, Andy. It's Saturday. Could have got a better bounce than that, but did not ball over. Oh, that was interesting. So push on the ball rather than take the both down.
Yeah.
No, fair enough. Oh, Chikasu doing a manful job there, marking that big goat. Ugh. this is bold. If you're doing what I think you're doing.
I was going over. I think I'm not.
I mean that in the truest sense. It's not insane. It's very high reward.
Giving up.
What we were referring to, viewers, was Marzamela going to try and pick the ball up and lob it to Little Flower? Johannian recently ran into Dwarf team. He took guard, mighty blow, and then frenzy on every player. Bet that was fun. Minzy says, who needs skills when you've got claw and mighty blow? Yeah, sometimes. Audience has gone quite quiet. I think they're taking the cultural tone that you're setting, Andy. Cheer up. Come on.
This is really having to make me concentrate. I said at the start, if he gets good casualty dice, this is a really hard game. And he killed 2 elves by turn 4. It is therefore hard. And it needn't be hard.
Okay.
So I'm having to concentrate. But you can always argue at any point then that if you've always got 11 elves on the field, well, elves have the natural advantage of agility 4, and therefore, if they're on the field, well, it must be going well. So it just isn't. So it's hard. And he's got lots of strength increases. And he's got a lot more strength, and so having less players against a team that's already naturally a lot stronger is very hard.
Good.
It'd be nice if he drops this.
Yeah, he's gonna. Yep, it has been foreseen. He's gonna. Oh, stop it!
So chose not to dodge there, so I don't get surfed.
Yep, good thinking, Batman. Oh, Faker, top work. Top work.
Well done.
Yeah, shame he's stunned, but a passive removal. Take that every day of the week. Faker really is an inspiration to this team, isn't he? It's iconic.
I can't do everything.
So what else have you been doing this week?
Hold a minute. I am still nowhere near out of the woods on this one.
Alright.
I really want to surf stuff. It's fucking me off. I can't get easy surfs.
I've had the recruitment interviewing training, so I've been giving the gift of employment this week.
Yeah, nice. Put that there. Yeah, that one.
I dropped by Space Cadets stream yesterday before I went to see our old man, and we're talking about doing interviews, and I happened to mention, by the way, if anybody's in the East Midlands and keen for some customer service action, let me know. And because where I'm at, recruiting like mad at the minute, and Space Cadet said, "Oh, I'm in Nottingham. Sorry, I'm in Northampton. I'll maybe have a word with you about that." If anybody is seeking employment and is in the East Midlands, do get in touch. Didier, I care about you too, mate. Thank you very much. I don't know what prompted that show of affection, but how nice. Lecthenian says, well, yes, just pick the ball up. He's gonna. Baz says, how's Mam? She's all right, mate. She's 86, so she does tend to fret a little bit. And apart from that, she's fairly spectacular for her years. She's had her ankle fusion op. 4 weeks ago now, and it's mending nicely. So she's still in the respite home and will be for probably another 3 or 4 weeks. But no, she's quite chipper. It's my nephew's 21st birthday next week, and so we've got a bunch of the family coming up for that. So I think she's quite looking forward to seeing everybody. Titan Jones likes the hat. How do you mean, Aratak? Basically, that's another one of us poor buggers. What, in terms of fancies a new job? Remind me, mate. What refers you to? I'm hoping Andy's going to regain the gift of speech soon because the game's picked up a little bit.
I'm just thinking, fucking hell, it's really hard. This game's really hard. Really fucking hard.
Calm down. Oh, and that reminds me, Jamie Carragher's fate this week. What a shocker. However, what I think has been missed by the media, who've really hung him out to dry here, is that he wasn't actually intending to spit. It's just a natural product of a really strong Scouse accent. You know, it can get a bit sputive, can't it? The Scouse accent is a bit... So it was more that than actually, you know, intending to gob on the poor kid. Discuss. Pitpad, what do you reckon? Oh, Northampton, right, yeah, with the attack, yeah. Riddick, I was just discussing Jamie Carragher's plight. Yanni says, oh no, here comes the nemesis, Trippy Goat. What, is that the one with the tie-dyed T-shirt with the flowers in his hair? Or do you mean a different sort of Trippy Goat? Well, his aim was great. He got that little last square in the chops, didn't he? So, yes, what will become of Jamie Carragher? It's a heartwarming tale, Baz. What letter are you talking about, mate? King went and said, did Andy get chemo? No, it was a special request. King went to pick. People were asking where is his milk tray distributing hat, and he whipped it out for the fans. Well, Dr. Nick says Jamie Carragher has been suspended by Sky for the rest of the season, but thinks he'll be back. Well, Ron Atkinson wasn't back, was he? After his ooh, Ron, that's a bit racist. Last we saw of Ron. Haven't seen him since, have we? So maybe sort of shuffling around Tesco's, filling his basket with meals for one. Commissariat, and he did whip it out for the fans, yeah, and he then he plonked it on his head. Don't say you don't get spoiled on this show. Oh, Baz, right, yeah, totally got you. Yeah, Liz, better not forget me that. Yes, with you, sorry. It's too early, I've only had one coffee. Baz says Sky's new sponsor might be Listerine. Or Kleenex. They're different things, Def Bal. Though in context, what Ron Atkinson said was clumsy and outdated. That had he said it in the 1970s, folks wouldn't have batted an eyelid because it wasn't viciously racist. It was non-politically correct, I think. At least I'm not alone in that. I think a lot of folks went, Ron, these days you can't, use language like that. He wasn't being all National Front about it. So I don't know what's the worst crime. I think both of them were guilty of stuff that a second after it happened they'd wished they could take it back. That's probably true.
Yep.
Anyway, I'm not being an apologist for either of them, by the way, but just saying.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Do I stall this out?
You could. I'd run away first.
Well, I'm just pondering if I stall this out, he's going to get quite a few hits in.
Well, no. That Ron Atkinson didn't use the N-word. He didn't say what Fatton's saying. I think he was referring to Marcel DeSailly, and what he intended to say is he's a big bloke. But he also made reference to the colour of his skin in that comment, and it wasn't the N-word either. It was proper clumsy, and it was a real toe curly when he said it. I mean, it wasn't that long ago, maybe 10 years. Just have a look at Fatton's link there. Oh, Fatton, I stand corrected. I'm pretty sure he said. I'm pretty sure he said something else, but no, it's there in black and white. Fair play, mate. Okay, right. Sympathy for Ron out the window. That was particularly stupid. No, I'm sure it was Ron Atkinson. It was what Fatton's just linked is pretty open and shut. Right, that was the off-the-air thing. There was at the same time, I think, Fatton, he said something on the air, and it wasn't as inflammatory as that, because that's pretty unacceptable whenever whatever point in history you said it, So, yeah, fair play. What I was thinking of, whilst not innocuous nor acceptable, wasn't outrageous either. It was sort of that sort of 6 out of 10. Football's managers being stupid, really. Yeah, I know. I know, Didier. Shock. Anyway, the point I mentioned, Ron, wasn't to in any way suggest that what he said was fine. Quite the opposite. It was to illustrate that we might not see Jamie Carragher again, because we didn't see Ron again. Though I suppose what Carragher did, will the collective nation find it in the heart to forgive him? Maybe.
The Carragher thing though is he'd been goaded and goaded, and I'm not forgiving and excusing what he did. He just shouldn't have done it. Of course he's going to get goaded. He's an absolute Liverpool through and through, and so when they lose to Man United, their biggest rivals, of course all the Man United fans are going to find it amusing and try and wind him up. But there is the Ron Atkinson thing is just shouldn't have said it. You just there was no reason to say it. The Carragher thing, there is some form of justification, whether it's acceptable or not. That's for everyone to make their own decision, but they're not the same incident, are they? So therefore, I think you probably will see him again. Weirdly, he's an Everton fan. Is he really? Oh. He wasn't aiming at the girl, he was aiming at the dad. The dad had been winding him up something chronic all for ages, if you read through the actual article. He's certainly got to have a massive affection for Liverpool since he played for them for so long.
I'm just having a look, see if I can see what the exact quote is of Ron Atkinson's that I was thinking of. Because what Fattin linked to is, yeah, that's done.
Oh dear, Heltane's dead. Oh well. So that's 3 casualties by turn 7. He's having a shit game, isn't he? Dick.
It's being salty. Yeah, what Fattin linked there, yeah, that wasn't off the camera whilst the mic was still on, but nonetheless, you know. Yeah, fair play. I think that's me misremembering exactly what he said. I'm sure there was another one that he said on air that was like, he got some grief over. I'd forgotten exactly what he said about Marcel Desailly. Yeah, fair play. Yeah, no surprise that Ron is gone. Gonny Ronnie. Yeah, no place for that, is there? Anyway, I wish I mentioned it now. It's a little bit gloomy, that. Yeah, there was that Lecthenian that there were questions, and this has been covered in the press as well. The counter argument is, what was said Goody Dad doing, driving along with his kid in the car with his phone out, filming, you know, because that's fine, isn't it? Ah, the world today. Andy, how do you feel about bringing baby Davo into a world like this? Baz says, would I fancy Carragher's job? I'd be great. Baz, that's very sweet of you. Unfortunately, my international football pedigree doesn't really support me being particularly an expert voice of football punditry. And plus, I think they're looking for somebody who's a bit more factually accurate than me. I think I'd make a fair tilt at what bloody Grimmy does, though. Nick Grimshaw must be bricking it in case I get discovered. I could do that, I think. I mean, how hard can it be? It's a pretty low bar. I don't rate Nick Grimshaw. Football Manager doesn't count as experience. I've actually played a lot of Football Manager. I used to really like that. Hello, Cara Gem, how you doing? Def Bar says you have to know modern music. And Def Bar, to be fair, I have reasonable grip on modern music. I don't like a lot of it, but then that's true of music fans throughout the ages. I tend to look at music sort of since all of it and pick out the bits I like. Some of it now is good, but it's not just because something's old it's therefore good. Don't make that mistake. That's lazy criticism to accuse me of I only like old stuff. That's not true. That's not true. Venturis is wondering how many Arsenal fans will get smashed in Moscow. Well, they can get a bit lively parts of the Russian fan base, but then, you know, English football fans of old have had a certain reputation, haven't they? There is the World Cup to look forward to. Hopefully that goes without incident. Thing is, though, Baz, if you go back to Championship Manager 1 or Championship Manager 2, Football Manager 2017, 2018, it's just way better games. They just are. I mean, the Championship Manager games were brilliant at the time because they were the best footy manager games, but they were quite simplistic compared to the modern iteration, so I wouldn't go back with rose-tinted spectacles. Hello, Ben. How you doing? Nick says Greg James is all right. Yeah, I suppose. I think the big fear is, what if you end up like Alan Partridge, that you think this sounds good in my head, but then it comes out a bit rubbish. I think being a national DJ is probably a bit harder than it looks. I mean, just ask Nick Grimshaw. I think what did it for me is when I was driving to work, I used to listen to Moyles, who, whilst not an all-round entirely lovable character, was at least quite funny, I thought. Yeah, I thought he was amusing. And then Moyles quits, and suddenly the day after, it's Grimshaw. And the contrast was massive. One, amusing, a little controversial at times, but, you know, very entertaining to listen to. The other, just idiot. Ali Ryder likes Radcliffe McConey. Yeah, they were good. Mark Radcliffe was very good, wasn't he? I mean, Kenny Everett on the radio was brilliant. Really liked Kenny Everett.
Was he very camp?
Kenny Everett? Absolutely raging homosexual. In fact, it was Kenny Everett and Freddie Mercury partying together that largely finished them both off.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, Kenny Everett, yeah.
Wow.
But he was very good, Kenny Everett. You used to really like him. Oh, Noddy Holder's excellent. I've been watching a lot of Noddy Holder's. He's got a series of called Trailblazers. It's on Sky at the minute. There's a box set looking at the history of music. Chubstep says, want to rephrase that. Which bit, Chubstep? What have I said? Yeah. Deathbell says Kenny Everett wasn't that camp. Oh, he was, Deathbell. Come on. Camp isn't, by the way, a derogatory term. It's just objectively true. Oh, the finishing each other off bit. Oh, right, I see what you mean. What I meant was their free-loving, partying lifestyle in the mid-'80s is where they both contracted AIDS, is what I actually meant. But yes, I see what you mean. I was watching a documentary about Freddie Mercury, and they were talking about when he first, showed signs of becoming, how did they put it, not at all well. And it was basically that they were doing a lot of clubbing in New York, and I think were they going out in Germany quite a lot when they're making an album. No, I think Kenny Everett was pretty camp, to be honest, but I guess it's subjective. I mean, it doesn't really matter. He was a hell of a presenter. I really liked him. Sasnik says, how's it going with the Salty Chaos? Pretty well. Pretty well. We've turned the corner. We have only got 11 players, and 3 of them are injured, but the rest of them are making up for it. I think this is about to be 2-0. Possible concession? Oh, don't drop it. No, Amso, why? I'll tell you what. Oh, the crowd nearly managed to pass it back to him then. Chubstep says, I can't help but notice Andy's got a little more street. He has, hasn't he? He's down with the kids. Cogblock says Butterfingers. I know, right? That would have been magnificent.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, recommendation if you've got Sky Telly, Trailblazers with Noddy Holder, very good series of programs, very good.
Don't know. What does everyone think? Does the street look suit me more?
You've got you look like you're about to knock over a newsagent.
I'm not though. No money in that.
Yeah, but dressed like that, is it a sound financial move? Doesn't really enter into it. You're desperate for your next score, is what that you're projecting as an image.
I do like scoring, if I'm honest, but mostly in Blood Bowl.
That works on so many levels, doesn't it?
Yeah.
One for the ladies, one for the sports fans, and one for those desperate to get some Class A drugs. So there you go.
Yeah.
A three-way pune. Very good. Very good.
Is this what Brits call chavs? Yes. Shall I take the hat off?
Yeah. I think the hat's done its work now. Hello, Dinaboto. How you doing? Give us your watch, your phone, and your wallet is what's coming across. You don't want that. You'll frighten off new viewers. And Andy's teapot impression. We could be a boiled egg.
There we go.
Oh yeah, that's much better. Well, hats inside. Is that more of a crime than sunglasses inside?
No.
Both quite bad, aren't they?
Sunglasses inside is worse.
Didier says hair is the same as hat. If you squint, there is a passing similarity. There we are. It's the hoodie as well as it makes you look disreputable. I don't own a hoodie.
We go and score, don't we?
Well, Pidpad, you've got to be really careful that if you adopt that approach, just don't go up to the bloke with the Labrador, okay? Because then you can make a terrible faux pas and you'll be going the same way as Jamie Carragher and Ron Atkinson. Just a word of warning there, Pid. In the modern society, just canny. Ninja Tings has arrived. Good morning, Pet. How are you doing? Johannian says, what if you have really ugly eyes? Yeah, that's a good point, well made. Marsum has an obscure question. Aratar, are you going to Abrothis next weekend?
They're talking about a tournament, that's why.
It's not like, are you going to Scarborough Fair?
No.
No, okay.
Right, I think we're going to go. Let's try and go to quick score. I can't say it without thinking of the naughty reference. Right, let's go for a quick score.
What? Get your coat, love.
No! the drug reference.
However, Pet, it's nearly high and out time. You're the best. I'm the best you're gonna do. Get your coat. Oh, Ninja Tins is very tired and didn't get much sleep last night. Oh, baby. T, you old dog.
They tried to ban hoodies. Wow.
Well, hoodies were under scrutiny here a few years ago. That they were being what's the word? Scrutinised for before knocking over a newsagent. Said ne'er-do-well would pop up his hoodie hood and be difficult to identify via CCTV. So you'll get shops still today will say no hoodies or no hoods up, that kind of thing. Yeah, exactly that, Dr. Nick. Blue Water did the same thing there. Yes, that was in the news. Quite right. Oh, apparently T's not very well. Is he all right, Tings? What's up with T? I have to get his cousin, the richest Lucasade, round to make him feel a bit better.
Oh dear.
T's got a cold. Oh no. Is Arune still being quite chatty with you? Are you getting on well, you two? You playing nice?
He's just rolled 111.
I think harsh.
I think his head might actually explode soon.
Oh. Well, you sympathise with that. That's unlucky. Poor. Well, Tings, please pass T our best wishes for a swift recovery. What, Ali? I've got to ask exactly what is Buckfast. It rings a bell, but I can't quite put my finger on what exactly is it. You heard of Buckfast, Andy?
No, I haven't.
Oh, it's a tonic wine. Dr. Nick says Buckfast is pure evil. Oh dear. Have you done that? Amendment to the emotes yet? And
No.
We get around and do that. Lots of folks are asking for that. Is it a big job? Have you got to contact Twitch to do it, or can you just do it on the dashboard?
Oh no, I could just do it. It'd be fine.
Right, Buckfast is cheap and warming fortified wine made by the monks in Buckfast Abbey. That is an excellent answer, Didier. Thank you very much for that. Is it snowing with you, by the way? I looked out the window this morning when I got up. It's bloody snowing. What the hell? Thought we'd done with that.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Apparently Buckfast is a national drink of Lanarkshire up in Scotland and tastes like dog's arse. The nectar of tramps. So it's a step up from meths, but only just. It's a good job we've got a lot of our Celtic viewers in today. That I think we've really nailed this "what is Buckfast" question. It's so educational, this show, isn't it? It's fantastic. Baz speculates that it sounds like something that I think you get a lot out of, Andy. Breakfast in a bucket. You know when you go at the cafe and they say, "What do you want, love?" And he says, "I'll have the lot in a bucket with a fried egg on top." Ting says it's snowing where she is. It was proper snowing here. It wasn't really lying on the ground that much, but yeah, it was snowing. I'm going to turn the heating back on. It was on this morning when I got up, and it's gone off now because it's reached. I think it goes off at 11 o'clock. I'm going to put it back on because it's cold. Back in a sec.
There we go. Sunk. Someone has seen that.
And we are back. Hello, Fire Dragon. How you doing?
What? Dr. Nick, did you see the NAF's new ranking system? I was trying not to tilt him, actually, but no. No, what's the NAF's new ranking system? Am I not going to like it?
Oh, is it St. Patrick's Day? Is that today?
Is it?
I don't know. Baz says boiled bacon and cabbage yum. Oh, Jacasu's knocked out, but he's all right. He's safe. He's safe. I'm not getting away with the canteen at work. I had some. I often eat quite late, just because I get in at lunchtime ish, 12:30, 12:15, say. Then load of stuff, and then before you know it's 5 o'clock and you're starving. And by the time you go up at 5 o'clock, the canteen, the food's been there for a while. Just saying. I had some cauliflower this week, and first of all, I said, is that the cabbage soup? She says, no, it's cauliflower. Go on, I'll have some of that. I swear, you could have eaten this cauliflower with a drinking straw. It sat there in boiling water that long. Very poor. Aratachi is 100. Today's victim is tomorrow's disruptor of the stream, Andy. Bass says, yep, St. Patrick's Day, and it was steak and blowjob day last Tuesday. Baz, I want to complain. Neither of those things happened last Tuesday. I haven't had a steak for ages. Tings is being dragged outside now. Tings, call the police. Good God, are you all right? See you later, assuming you survive. Good luck. Yes, it's definitely on my to-do list of trying to establish where do I want to regularly have lunch during the working day. Haven't quite figured that out yet. Tried Nando's. Went with my mate Moss, who is the Vermintide player that keep failing to get on the show. Me and Moss went for a bagel this week. That was quite nice. Wasn't massively filling, if I'm on it. Oh, bye. See you. Oh, hello. Let's hope that's nothing serious. Oh, there you go. Yeah, bagel was quite nice. Chubstep, my verdict on Nando's, and it's the first time I've been for years and years and years, was it was all right, but it was really expensive for what it was. If it was £5, what I had would have been absolutely fine, but it wasn't. It was 13 quid, and I just thought it was a bit near. Killjoy's back. Hello, mate. Baz says pub lunch. Where the office is, Baz, it's right in the centre of town next to the railway station, so you could go pub lunch, but we've got 50 minutes to do it. And I don't think there's any pubs that particularly do great food that I've seen. There are a couple of decent-looking Italian restaurants, though, so I might do that as a once-a-week thing. But the real killer, I think I might have already told you about this, so apologies about folks, is I walk about a third of a mile, half a mile maybe, from where the office is to where the NCP car park is, where I put the motor. And every night I walk past the Chutney Ivy Indian restaurant. So it's 9:30 at the evening. I'm absolutely starving. And you walk past this place that is wafting out fragrances of fantastic smelling curry. So one of the things that we've planned to do is on a Thursday night after the working week is over, let's go in and have a curry there. That is going to happen. I'll report back on how it turns out. Bobface says Nando's serve McCain oven chips. The bloody do, Bobface, and in fact, badly heated McCain oven chips. It really was very much. This isn't cuisine. This is just we've applied heat to stuff that folks delivered us frozen. Very, very average. Sorry, Andrew, but it is. Frank says a bagel with cream cheese and bacon is amazing. What did I have on my bagel? I had chicken tikka, guacamole, jalapenos, and I thought cream cheese would be a bit weird with that, but they did have cream cheese. The bagel was good, but it wasn't massively filling. So given that this is like main meal of DaE, I probably would have needed two of the things. So.
Right.
Well, the bagel was cut in half, toasted, and then re-put together chub steps. So it was kind of like a sandwich. I tell you how Moss described it, and he was bang on the money here. It was alternative Subway. The crowd hold the breath, and he's fine. He's fine. Nuanto is fine. No, they only toasted the bagel once, Frank. I didn't think of that. It's really only Andy that needs things toasting twice. I think if you toast it for long enough the first time, the second toasting isn't actually required. But let's not spoil a good meme, eh? Cut one. Oh, she's got mighty blows. She'll probably kill him.
Oh, no.
That doesn't do. Gerg says, why not talk about the game? Apologies, Gerg. Let us concentrate on the game. So, DaE seem to have picked up Andy. You're feeling happier, right?
No, yeah.
Oh, come on. You're 2-0 up. Nobody's dead.
No, there is one dead, actually, but...
All right. Nobody expensive's dead. Killjoy says, what game? Heltane is a bit dead. Yes, that's true. To be fair, though, Heltane did have Dirty Player wrestle, so his death is not the end of the world. Apologies to Heltane.
Heltane was actually a pre-purchased elf that came with an MVP.
Well, he's still a person.
No, he's not. That's the point. He's not a person.
Or elves aren't people now.
No.
Andy, Ron Atkinson went down that path, and look how that turned out. Elves are people, Andy.
No, you're missing the point. I'm saying that he's not a person. He's just a randomly generated character.
I am deliberately missing the point.
Oh.
Yes, I know what the point is. I completely understand. I was just...
being difficult. Okay, cool.
Wasn't being difficult. Good grief. Anyway, talk about the game. Good grief.
Well, I'm a bit worried now. So he's got 6 turns if he wants to try and score 2 touchdowns. Well, I'm into player preservation mode, to be honest. And I think he's going to go into let's kill players mode. I'm really surprised that he got so tilted so quickly. Because I don't get it.
You can't. You can't be sure you tilted him. He might just be a bit feisty. Hello, Yakastay. How you doing? I feel I should say a word to Gerg just to qualify. I'm guessing that you've not watched the show much before. So first of all, welcome to the program. Lovely to make your acquaintance. We do tend to accidentally not talk about the game sometimes quite a lot. However, did you see the comment in Discord I made this week, Andrew, about what a good job you did when you cast it all by yourself when I was away this weekend, and you talked about the game a lot, and that was actually, you did very well. So, well done.
Oh, it's a blizzard. He's not going to be happy with that.
Well, that's relevant. We were just talking about it snowing here, weren't we? Oh, super. I sometimes talk about the game. It's just folks keep talking about other things. So it's not my fault. Blame Zunk. Harsh. But probably fairly accurate.
Yeah. I would say that we do some tactical stuff from time to time.
If folks do want a specific point, we have and delighted to talk tactics. And
Aardvark's just raised a big topic. Yeah, big topic, Aardvark. Go on. We'll get into that. The World Cup, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, people in cold houses. The World Cup.
And?
Well, hang on a second. Let's start. Do you know anything about the World Cup?
Yes. There's a massive amount of prizes.
Yeah.
It's the second one. Guinness won the first.
Oh, dear.
I'm starting to run out of things that I know about the World Cup.
Oh, dear.
That was unlucky, wasn't it? There you go. Bit of talking about the game creeping in there. That was unlucky, wasn't it, everyone? Yes, it was. Marsden says Andy's done a whole load of race guides, which has really been a shot in the arm for his YouTube channel, and finally got it off the ground. Oh, no, he hasn't. Absolutely, yes, that's what happened, Marsden. Yeah, pretty much. No, not the Football World Cup Super, though we were talking about that earlier a little bit, yes. So, there are qualifying tournaments for the World Cup within the major leagues. Is that what you're going to say?
Yep.
And, Metal has arrived. Hello, Metal. You all right, son? How you doing? Oh, Metal, we're talking about the Blood Bowl World Cup. If you're feeling chatty, you're welcome to pop in the booth and say hi. For anybody who doesn't know, and I don't imagine there's many, Full Metal Cos is one of the big noises over at Rebel, one of the leagues Andy plays in, which is a jolly nice Blood Bowl league, and also does a bit of streaming as well. He's a smashing bloke and lives near where I used to, and where I went to school and grew up and that. That was a rubbish bit of biography for Cos, though, wasn't it?
Indeed.
I don't know what went wrong there. Shall I have another go?
Nah.
No, I'll just leave it.
Yeah. Cos says they're not talking about the NAF Championships yet. The NAF Championships, the World Cup yet. That's true. They have not really decided to mention it yet.
Well, we haven't got all the details. There's been the initial announcement, but we were talking. Who were we talking to the other day? I did ask Nethios about it in Discord, texty Discord. Where did Dodo shown? Anyway, regarding the World Cup, the last one was mega prizes and big cash and lots of kudos. So the World Cup, Andy, how are you going to go about competing in that? Because obviously that's the big thing, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Well, I'm gonna try a four-pronged attack on this one. So I'm gonna go for try and qualify through all three private leagues, and then we'll try and do the champ ladder runs as well. I suspect the champ ladder runs. They've got to confirm what the rule set is for the champ ladder runs yet, because they haven't actually said fall over, fall over, fall over. Yes, silly, silly man.
That was unlucky. Oh,
It's snowing.
Oh, Frank has just reminded me. The chap with whom we were discussing the World Cup was, of course, VG Purist. Of course it was, Frank. Thank you very much. Yes, VGP was talking about the World Cup. That's right. So, yes. And what Ardvac said, exactly that. Well, wouldn't be smashing if you could get somewhere in the World Cup. That'd be marvellous.
Yes. Should have the ability to be able to get somewhere in the World Cup. Last time we did the World Cup, it was just when they'd released the game, and all the models looked too similar in relation to the Blood Bowl 1 models. I had a really hard time telling things apart. Since then, obviously, I've probably played in maybe 700 games, and we're okay. So I'm looking forward to the World Cup now.
Ardvac says, "What teams do you fancy playing?"
If you're gonna do World Cup, there are the two strongest teams, in my opinion, and it is just my opinion. Wood Elf and Undead. Yeah, because it's from a standing start in the private leagues. So in the private leagues, you're gonna have potentially 6 games of nothing other than standing start. Well, it's Woodies. They're just so insanely strong. Let's see if we can kill that Minotaur.
Ducky mentioned the qualifying process, because the first World Cup, the way it actually panned out, the qualification was a fairly miserable experience, because in effect, my understanding of it was you pretty much had to play champ ladder and win 20-0-0 to get through. Yeah. That wasn't how they designed it, but that was the short version. Is that's pretty much what you needed, and nobody really enjoyed that, because it was it was brutal. From what VGP was talking about the other day, Ducky, is that they recognised that was rubbish. And so, whilst they haven't told us what the exact details, as far as I know, for qualification are, hopefully they will be better than last time, yes. Harringzord has arrived. Hello, mate. How are you doing? I could use the same big ups for Harringzord as I just did for Cos, really, couldn't I? Big noise in Rebel, nice bloke, does a bit of streaming, grew up near where I did. Harringzord, hello, mate. How you doing?
OCC is doing Resurrection. Oh, wow. Are you doing like TV 1100 with 6 skills type of thing? Because if you do that, I think you actually open up a whole lot more races. Any private league that just goes with, here, start with 1,000 TV team. Yeah, there's only about 5 that really are. If you're really min-maxing, there are about 5. And they are Amazons, Dwarves, Undead, Wood Elves. Yeah, they're the 4 strongest ones. These are the ones that start with all the skills or ability. Oh dear. Well, it's 3-0, 2-0. I can't score a third.
Well, do you remember Gerg, who asked we were talking about the game earlier? He's buggered off. They've been talking about the game loads now, and he's not here. Right. Do you want to talk about the game a bit more? Maybe he'll come back. Yohannian says that's a terrible stream name. What, this one? Saturday morning breakfast. You me, Zunk, and your favourite Dark Elves. It's not the worst. I've seen worse. Hello, Rowan. How are you doing? Harringzord's less hungover than he should be. Do you know, Harringzord, I had that last Sunday. Came back and did the show, having had 2 days in the Lake District, trying to get through as much Wainwright's Pale Ale as I possibly could. And I didn't feel that bad.
I don't want to go and get someone involved. Free foul.
Oh, I didn't see that, Yanni. What did Arune suggest the stream name should be, Andy?
You can rename your stream. Hang on. Look, give me win, but I win no respect. And I've put, you've whined all game. And he has his whined all game, so shut up, idiot.
I see. Well, now, remember the policy. Today's opponent is tomorrow's viewer. Come on.
Yeah.
Arune is quite entitled to his opinion. He feels how he feels, and we should not disagree with him for that. He shouldn't be lampooned and derided for feeling the way he feels.
No, it's fine. He can feel however he feels, but he is wrong. Oh dear.
Do you remember we were talking about magnanimous the other day?
Yeah, but sometimes, right? And I've learned this. Some people just rub people up the wrong way, and there's a fine. I don't mind being magnanimous, but occasionally people offend my moral code, and this guy has offended my moral code. So,
well, he's transgressed the unwritten law.
Yeah. So I'm going to stop at that point because I know what I want to say, and I'm aware that we're live to the nation, and so I can't say fuck or bugger, or indeed dickhead. But if I could, I know what I'd say.
It would be very nice.
Well, no, it wouldn't. No.
Super says Andy always rubs him up the right way.
Hey.
Well, it is 2018, Super, and behind closed doors, or indeed wherever you like. That's lovely, jolly good. Dr. Nick, you may rather think that. I couldn't possibly comment. Killjoy, wash your mouth out. Do you kiss your mother with that mouth? Goodness me. There, let's have a kitten just to bring things back on an even keel.
How do we cause forecast to that Nurgle team? I don't know, if I'm honest.
Oh, High and Mighty played this week. Did I watch that? I can't remember. I did, didn't I?
Yeah, it was the one that it went horribly wrong all the way through the second half because we took loads and loads of damage against just random blocks. But
Super Ian died, didn't he?
Yeah. But in the end, it came down to he failed an 88% chance roll to score.
I do remember that now. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. He failed to pick the ball. He basically had to pick the ball up and trot it in, and dropped it.
No, he caught it. He failed the dodge. It was a player with dodge or with a reroll. I don't know which one it was, and it was a 3+ dodge out to score, and that was it. Straight 3+, and it was 2 reroll 1 or 1 reroll 2. But it was lucky. He was a really nice guy. I liked him.
Who, Arune?
No.
I'm not buying it. You can't just suddenly now be Mr. Lovely Andy.
No, not Arune. He was an idiot. But the other guy.
Right. Stop saying that.
Okay.
You've got to be nice to other. Look, what if Nethios is watching and thinking, well, this isn't the sort of people I want covering the World Cup now, is it? Yeah. Shut up, man. Family show, you know. Look at Jamie Carragher's lesson.
Oops. Good point. Okay.
Ron Atkinson. For God's fuck's sake, Andy. Come on.
We can buy another player. We can have 12 players. We need a lineman, please. Do we need a lineman or do we need a runner?
Well, let me just whip the list out. Well, all right. top of the list, and this is after Gruff's death the other week. We've got Griff and Graff, sons of Gruff.
We have a problem.
Do you want them?
No, we have a slight financial fair play problem. I haven't got the money. I saw the 70k come up, forgot about the what's it, and
what, the cheesy puff sort of snack?
No,
What
the
Barling Expanse.
that's the one.
Right. Killjoy wants the Underworlds.